As if this channel couldn't get any weirder, fairies. We're going there. Welcome to Soul Spy University, where your souls can run free and your minds are free to expand. But, oh, first, it's about to get real weird here with Tommy's topic, but I am here for it. So curl up with your favorite holiday or winter blanket, hot beverage, and get comfy for a very intriguing time. But first, it drastically helps our content to you tremendously. If you can please just hit that like button for a second. And if you want to be a part of the Soul Spa University family, we would love absolutely to have you as a Soul Spa member to our family, for our channel for free, and not miss out on the news that they're not telling you. And to help our small little channel survive, it would be amazing if you could share any of this. Maybe you want to expand the minds of others and you don't want to be the one to do it, or whatever the case may be. We would just greatly, you have no idea how much we appreciate that. It is beyond belief. Also, a reminder that there is, in case you get anything out of anything at all, just feel like building great karma or being generous at all, there is a donation link in the description box that basically it illuminates me from the inside out. If any little bit ever would ever be donated, honestly, just to know that someone somewhere is listening. There's also a list of services I'm available for that are very unique, but I happen to specialize in, and I'm currently still available for. There are a few spots left here and there. Please check them out, and they're in the description box in case you think you could be of any benefit to them, which everybody pretty much could. But if you're up for a great, amazing time, let me know. They're also listed in the description box. All right, Tommy, I feel like I'm highly distracted by you. What's going on? You're covering fairies. I have some things to say about this. This is very intriguing. I've never covered this before. I'm glad you are.
All right. Hey, guys. So, fairies, the fae, all the stuff that you like, all the stories we hear when we're little, goblins, all this other stuff. Uh, would you believe me if it was true? Well, maybe it is. Because a lot of people have claimed to see things that they believe to be fairies. One very famous case was the Coatling. Hold on, I'm probably saying this right. Cottingley, Cottingley fairies. It was something that was wrote in 1917, and I believe I sent you some pictures of black and white pictures of this girl who her and her family used to go to this place in England that they lived called Cottingley Beck.
Just,
was
just so you guys know, I'm going to be showing you, as he's telling the story, the pictures that he sent me, okay?
Yeah.
So you want me to show black and white photos, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Elsa Wright. Elsa Wright's the one that said that she was there and taking a picture with what she called a fairy or a gnome or whatever you want to call it. And like, granted, remember, this was 1917.
Oh, I didn't notice there's something in the. Oh, okay. All right. Let me zoom in on it. Oh, okay. 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 There we go.
So yeah, that thing.
Be nice to them, Tommy, because I don't know if you've read enough on them.
Don't worry. Don't worry. I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So her and her cousins had gone out and they told their parents, they're like, oh, go outside, go play and whatever. And their parents are like, they told their parents, okay, we're going to go play with the fairies. And they're like, sure, do your thing, kids. So she grabbed her father's old camera or whatever, and her cousins took pictures of her and that. And there's another picture I think I sent you as well.
Wow.
Also black and white.
Wow. First, guys, can we just absorb this? Really look at it. Really, if this was an actual photo, wow. Kind of looks like Steve. I
Maybe.
love fairies. Okay, hang on. I have news at the end too regarding fairies. Okay, so this is the second picture.
Yeah.
And guys, just so you know, we are not making fun of fairies at all. We are just showing the evidence. We might be making, well, you can tell us what you think of the evidence, but if this is real, we're totally astonished and we shall bow down to it. So we're not saying anything is not real, and we're not saying anything is real. We're not saying fairies don't exist. We are not. In fact, maybe I think we're thinking they are. However, so this is the second picture.
So she came back and told her parents about this. She was 17 in this picture, and they wrote a book and all that stuff. But the father, she's like, oh, I took pictures of the fairies, and so the father said he went downstairs with his camera into his dark room, and he reproduced pictures, and he saw these things, and he couldn't believe his eyes. Now they went to
Wow.
this became like a big thing. People were like, what the heck is happening? What is this? And so everybody was like, this is fake. But this is 1970. So it's like editing like pictures were a little difficult back then.
Yeah.
So the pictures were taken and given to a photography specialist named Harold Snealing. Now Harold confirmed that picture, the actual picture, not saying fairies, but saying the picture
Hmm.
is uh authentic.
Which one? The first one or the second?
All of them. There's another one I just forgot to give it to you.
Nice. Oh, please, we want to see.
Okay, well, I'm using my phone for this, so maybe look. uh,
Ah,
so I forgot to take it. I forgot to like do the thing. But anyway, you can find yourself, people.
okay.
Just look up
I'm
the
gonna find it for them. What is it? What do I Google?
Cottingley fairies. It's Cottingley.
Okay, got it. Okay, so you want me to find another image? There's more than this. What's
Yeah.
happening? Is this real? Is this?
So uh go ahead. Oh, there we go. Yeah. That's the cousin, one of the cousins.
Is they're saying that's real?
This is one of the pictures the kids show the father.
And
Like that he produced with this he create like did the thing.
but the photographers
So
are real?
like I said, the guy said that the pictures are authentic, but did not say that the fairies were real. He specifically said that the picture itself was authentic. So which leaves you to say that leaves him room to say that yeah, the picture is real, but what's in the picture could be fake. Now they basically made a whole thing about this. They went around saying, uh, preaching the spirituality of it, that these things are not just fairies, but they're angels
But who
and
made a thing of this?
the family, the father and Elsa Wright.
Okay.
Um, and it wasn't until many years later that someone had said, like they try to authenticity, get the authenticity of it, and somebody's like, they figured out that like it was fake.
But I thought that,
That the girl had been like an artist and was able to like create these things to take pictures with. So, but it was never like she never
What?
said it was. She never said it was fake. So that it's speculation. People say it's fake. A lot of people say it's fake. I mean, it looks fake,
But you said she's
but
an artist in what?
she was apparently drew these things, had cutouts, and had them placed in the picture so she could take a picture with them.
Yeah, but then what's holding up those?
Ring, maybe, I don't know.
Rain?
Uh, String.
Oh,
So that one is that. That's the Cottonley Lee fairies. Can't say that name. All
it's
right, here's the story.
editing back then though, and we don't see any strings.
I know, but God knows, like people are crazy. So this one is a Reddit thing that this lady put out.
Okay.
And so this lady was like, since I was a kid, I was obsessed with fairies. The fae, fairy folk, all of it. To the point where her mother had found a book on fairy language and given it to her. And
Oh,
so
nice.
she would study the book, and they lived in, I believe they were in England. Was it England or Scotland? Hold on one second.
That's beautiful.
I think they were in Scotland.
And
So
where were the other people?
those were her cousins. Are you talking about the picture, the thing we just talked
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
That was her cousins.
Whose cousins?
The the first girl, Elsie Wright,
Yeah.
and the other two were her cousins. That other picture with all the fairies and stuff.
No, no, no. I'm saying what location are they in?
Oh, that's England.
Okay, so that's England and it's early 1900s, right?
Yes.
Okay. And now this person is her cousin or no?
No, this is something different,
Okay.
completely different.
Okay, that well, okay. So this
Okay.
is in England. Wait.
This one's in Scotland
Okay, so this one's in Scotland and what time period?
now,
Right now? Okay.
like five, like 10 years ago ish.
Wow.
So this girl was like obsessed with fairies, and she lived in Scotland, and she lived by like this magical fairy, like the magical like woodland area where she could like always feel as if there's fairies and all this stuff. So her mother gave her this book, and so she studied it, and she would write little notes from what she read in the book of what she thought would be fairy talk. She wrote little notes, and she would put little gifts in the notes, and she would put them in like random spots throughout the woods, like in a magical like water, like this little like water thing, fountain, not fountain, but like stream, beautiful little places. And she
Mhm.
would put the gifts there, and she put that. Well, and she put a little stone on top of it to hold it down so the wind wasn't blowing away. And then she would come back, and she would notice that they're gone. Oh, I'm sorry. At first she didn't. She looked back, and there was nothing. They were still there. But then she came back a couple weeks later, and they were gone. So she first assumed maybe like it rained or something, or like but she put it under little rocks to hold them, and she noticed that the rocks were just moved. They weren't like thrown around. They didn't go everywhere. They looked like they were just moved slightly.
Could have been.
And so she was like, oh, maybe it was an animal, maybe it was something. Who knows? Because so she kept doing it though. Now she kept doing it. But this time she waited, like she did it and she came back later and she waited, like hiding. And then she saw it. She saw a what she thought was two um, butterflies, large butterflies, and they landed by the little rock at the gift. And then she looked closer. They weren't butterflies at all. The one that they saw it was a little woman, had hands, had brown hair, but her eyes were kind of like a bug. Uh, and she was wearing like a little like piece of cloth ish, but like a blue dress. At the time, because she was a little girl, she freaked out. And instead of being like, "Oh, fairies, tell me about your life," she screamed, startled them, and ran. And so she said, ever since then, like after like, getting my mind around it, I tried to keep going back and I tried to keep going and giving them little gifts, but they never reappeared.
Yeah, well, of course not. But so it's so interesting because this was so touching. It like made me want to cry. And then once you said their eyes look like bugs, it's like,
Hmm.
what do you mean?
Yeah, that's her description. Like a mosquito's eyes, like big round, so or like a fly's eyes.
You know what a fly's eyes looks like? There's a million eyes in one eye.
Yep,
That's what she's saying they were.
that's what their eyes look like, but their bodies look like people.
All right, let me check out this picture. What's interesting about the pictures you sent me is that so with the Cottondale ones, the first one looks dramatically different than the other ones, you know?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
if so in terms of the Cottondale ones, this guy
Cocktail. Yeah,
looks way different than this woman.
yeah, yeah. That's
Um,
why they were like, this is fake. This is fake.
most of the Cottondale ones seem to be, let me look more, yeah, like kind of like dancing ballerinas, you know. Um, and the one that you first got me looks like a Rapunzel as a puppet, which I do see on the internet as well. Um, so also for fairies to just go up to the person like that. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
saying it's not real. Wow, look at this one.
Well, show them the video I sent you.
All right, first look at this one. Like that's almost a like the I'm on the
Yeah.
internet. I'm on the internet. That's like almost as big as a person. So all right. So now you want me to show you the video.
Show the picture first that
Okay.
that I just sent you. The
And what
most
is
recent
this?
picture.
What is this of?
This I believe was a Ring camera, like the Ring doorbell camera picture, and they're like, this is what comes up in my thing, and people are like it's a mosquito or like a malformed mosquito, but everybody's like, that looks like a tiny fairy. So there's like, is this a fairy? Is this a thing? A lot of people have been showing pictures like this, and then I don't know if it's kind of bug or maybe a bug looks like that, but it does look like a little fairy, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And guys, if you notice live on our videos, when I become like super illuminated and like talking about things, there are things that start flying around. I'm just saying. I was like, oh, angels. I'm just saying. And I
And
also
then finally,
have
show the video I send you. This
more
one was crazy. I don't know what this was,
more news
but
about. Also, this picture that you sent me,
oh yeah, that's right. Now
and
people say, oh, they're mosquitoes, but they look like little people, don't they? They don't look like mosquitoes at all.
they look like little people. And let me zoom in on some. Yeah, to me, they look like little people. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I'll show you guys. Let
like
me.
it's insane.
They really do. I mean, this one even has a collar or something.
Yeah.
Um,
Now, what they say is that the fairies are part of the Fey realm or the realm of Fey, and they're called the good folk, or people of peace, or spirit of nature and supernatural things.
mm,
So they're considered to be part of this world, part of like nature itself.
I love it. I
So
absolutely love it. And I have more to add on it. Now, you want me to play the video now or?
yes, show the video.
Okay. So,
This
okay.
video I sent to Christina of someone who put it up on Reddit. Now look closely. They look like it's like they're not fireflies. They're not like in the like far parts of the sky. It's like right above the house. So people think, oh my God, this is like, what is this? What are these things? Like, not, it's not fireworks. Isn't it? But if somebody claims that it might be, it's a bunch of fairies just flying around on top of his house.
This is hard. Like, I can't zoom in on it. I
I
can't
know.
tell. Is it like a meteor?
That's not a meteor. It's so close to the ground.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a screenshot. Okay, I took a screenshot. Now I'm going to zoom in on it. Okay, let's see, guys. Oh, no. It also makes a sound. It also
Does
makes,
it? I didn't hear a sound.
well, yeah, probably because the audio, but it's also like, it's as if something's going through the air.
Yeah, so that one's like that's crazy. So there are quite a few pictures out there and then videos. There's this one woman that I just couldn't find, but she claims to see them all the time, and she took a video of one in its nest, and it kind of does look like a fairy. It's like kind of like peeking out, looking out with her. I wish to God I could have found it, but it was on Reddit, not Reddit. I'm sorry, TikTok, and I don't have TikTok. It's difficult for me to search out TikTok things when one does not have it.
Mm.
Uh, but finally, the gem, the absolute best was this man, my man, Erwin Saunders. If you don't know who Erwin Saunders is, I highly recommend his YouTube channel is the same thing, Erwin Saunders. I believe he's in Britain or Scotland, and he goes out into the woods and he records, and this is an old man, records all the little fey people. And there's these people that just like they look like little like gremlin type situations, but like cute. They come out and they like he gives them gifts or stuff, or maybe they just look at him and then they freak out and run away. And I pray to God it's real. Uh, if it's not, this man is a genius. It's hilarious stuff to watch. He's not being like jokingly, but like he has that kind of nature. And he goes out and he just records these little things that he calls the Fey people or the people of the woods or whatever he wants. They're not flying around; they're just down on their feet, and they look like little like what goblins would look like or something like that, but like cute. And it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I showed it to Christina. She had her reservations. It's understandable. Some of them don't look the best, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know, man. I think I pray that this is real.
Yeah.
Let me know what you guys think. Erwin Saunders. Let me spell it out for you
Oh,
to
don't worry.
help you along.
I'm trying to take up space. I have stuff to add.
Saunders.
Apparently, he's a real fan. Okay. Okay.
You enjoy that. Now, what do you have to say? What you have to say?
Um, no, honestly, I'm really glad you discovered this. Um, like this is extremely intriguing to me. I'm gonna be honest right now. I'm gonna be honest. I
Okay.
need to have a sip of this to be honest here.
Oh, you're a grape juice?
Hmm. Two things have happened since we started this podcast. This
Okay.
particular one. I happen to notice the time twice when it happens to be the three numbers. Did you see that?
Yeah,
Just
sorry.
okay. When it happens to be the three numbers, and as I was saying it, it happened. Um, guys, rewind if you want. That represent my parents. So huge synchronicities. Also, need another sip to be honest about this part. my fairy juice over here. I've been told by many different people that don't know each other that I'm part fairy. I never knew what that meant. I kept an open mind. Lately, by a reader, she told me I'm actually a fairy healer. I'm still not sure what this means. I don't, someone asked me, does that mean you heal fairies? Oh my God, that'd be awesome. I don't know. Or does
What a
that mean that
specific
I'm
skill.
what?
I said, what a specific skill.
Yeah. Or does it mean that I'm part fairy, also healer? That sounds more right. We'll see. What I do know is this: I love being in the forest. And every time I go, no matter what temperature, it's always worth it to me. It is a magical, like, I can't even tell you the most illuminating. I don't even want to break the internet right now with how illuminating it is for me to be in nature. What's even weirder is that one of my friends over the past year said, she was talking about touching a tree. She kept talking about talking to a tree and thought she got a message from a tree once. I thought, oh, that's interesting. So I needed guidance. I touched a tree, and lo and behold, this is going to sound crazy. The best way I can describe it is energy. I felt energy kind of like psychically, and it converted into messages to me that were very resounding and truthful. Now, what gets very even more weird is that, so since then, I've been touching the same 2 or 3 trees in the same forest. I then hear from a reading that loved ones that are very close to me that have passed on use these trees possibly as vessels to communicate with me. Now, I do have both parents on the other side before age 11 and other very close loved ones. What's really interesting is I think it goes even beyond that. First of all, I talk to them anyway. I talk to my mom at least, and someone that was like a dad to me pretty often. I didn't know we needed trees. But what's interesting is there's even a tree there that once I look at it, I psychically feel that's somebody who's still on this earth, but I feel their lovingness from it, like almost like their higher self, because the role they're playing here right now isn't the best, and that's fine. But what's interesting is they're doing the best they can here. But what's interesting is it's like I feel the love from that tree from them, like as if we all have higher selves in heaven or something, and that I look at that tree and I see her, you know, and I feel the love from it. And what's interesting is last time I hung out with her, it went so well. I mean, it usually does. It's just, people are kind of stuck in their own roles sometimes. So I thought that's really interesting. It gets even more interesting, Tommy. I'm not done by any far means. But don't worry. I want to make sure you have a lot to chance to talk before we wrap up. But basically, yeah, I feel really like I always wanted to physically see my mom. I was able eventually to talk to her and get messages from the other side. I always wanted to visibly see her. I felt I never got to that point, but the closest I ever got was when I'm in the forest, and all of a sudden I could psychically see her more in a weird way when I something about nature, and lately more and more with me and nature, it's always been the case, and I feel it's the case for all of us. I feel it's the case for all of us. I didn't know if it was more with me because I seeked it, or more with me because I'm a Virgo, or more with me because I really seek things out, and nature is very good to us, and is a
Yeah.
possibly a vessel from the divine. But it really enhances my abilities, and uh and and lately from a reader who told me that I was told by a good friend years ago that saw way beyond what we can see, that I am fairy. She said fae, and that once I took a picture of myself, I thought, oh my God, I really And that's so weird because I thought that before she said it. Anyway, there's been many other instances since that people have said that. Well, recently a reader said I'm a fairy healer. Then what's interesting is she said I was going to get more into this phenomenon. Well, Tommy chose to bring it up, which is really interesting. Now, what gets even crazier is that these pictures that he sent me. So at one point, I thought she said I'm going to get more into this. Well, at one point, I was in the forest, and I thought I really want to be able to see them, because Tommy got a little into it, which I thought was really cool. And he showed me some things, and I thought I really want to be able to see them. And I don't know if it was before or after he showed me some other videos, but I made it a point to really want to be able to see them. And in that forest that day, I think I told him there were two different times. I told you about it, Tommy, in detail. Remember that all of a sudden I saw a flash. Remember?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I never seen something like that before. It was like a flash, but it looked like an illuminated, almost like a dragonfly, but smaller and glowing. And then it was gone. But I remembered I noticed it enough to be like, right? And then I thought, like, it made me even stop my tracks and think, oh my God, right? Like that, it had that reaction to me. And I don't think I was looking for it. I think it would be, I was like, it'd be cool if, but I don't even think, but it's just the fact that it opened in my mind from the reader and you saying something. And I was like, oh, maybe, and then like, I was like, wow, because I thought that my connection with trees and nature and the messages, and even my last walk was really cold, but like just seeing like the trees beyond the trees, I could cry. I can't even describe what it does to me. It literally, like, I gotta rush through this, but basically it shows me a love that is beyond what I know here, that isn't sequestered or limited to one person or one thing. It is just it is like God is everywhere, right? So anyway, listen to this. The time I'm talking about, I was in the forest, which was not too long ago. That had me stopping my tracks. There was another moment I told him about very vividly when I came out of the bathroom. I was in this other part of the forest, and all of a sudden it happened again. Remember, Tommy? I told you it happened again. I thought there was like
Yeah.
two or a couple or something, and it was like dragonflies, but illuminated, but not as big, maybe that big, but like maybe like this, and like in front of me, right? So I was trying to explain this to you, right? And I was like, I don't know, I'm just saying it made me stop in my tracks, and then before I know it was gone. Like I couldn't even take a picture, but it was there long enough for me to be like, and I remember telling Tommy, are they angels? Are they fairies? I feel like there's something different. There's a fairiness to it. What is it? Right? Well, the pictures he showed me, when I looked at them, I was like, because this is what I saw. This is what I saw. So the closest that it was like maybe like this, maybe like this, but also crossed with this, like this. They were
Yeah.
glowing. It was glowing, but it was a glowing. It looked like a glowing mosquito. Like I feel so it was pretty much like this, but maybe not as separate and more glowing and wide here.
That's amazing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember you telling me that. That's why I honestly believe that there is a world that we're not seeing, that we are just willfully blinded ourselves to by not being in nature, just putting ourselves in these brick buildings, this stone, not being where we're supposed to be, not being out feeling nature. I always told you the best I ever feel is when I go through the hiking through that trail I go through, and I just sit there and I love it. It's because it's so in nature. And then when I come back to everything else, it's like, oh.
Yeah,
So
we
I
have
believe
a point to
we're
do
supposed to.
that.
Yeah. we're supposed to be in nature. And I believe if we set ourselves back into that world, little by little, these things will come back into our vision. We don't see it as it is now because we mentally block it, put it off. And I believe they're there. Honestly do. So I have faith in that these things exist.
Yeah, honestly, science has now proven that 99.9% of our reality we do not see. So I'm really glad we covered this today. I hope to cover more of it, to be honest. I'm so glad Tommy picked this out. This has illuminated my world. So he's actually opened up my world and illuminated me from the inside out, because now there's a whole other realm I'm excited about. And we have a minute, but time just jumped. Time is jumping. This is interesting. Okay. So basically, it wasn't going, when it was counting us down, we have less than a minute. It was skipping over a second. So it wasn't going 2, 1, 0. It was actually skipping over to 4, 2, blah, blah, as I was doing that. So same scientist that said we don't see most of our reality also said time and space are not fundamental to the fabric of reality. He actually proved that. So yeah, we're covering this stuff, guys, because we don't see a lot. And I want our consciousness to be able to be open to it, because it's a magical world out there. And if we only have a few, however many number of days on this earth, let's make sure to experience it to the best and most of our abilities. I want to cover more of this. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thank you so much, Tommy, for covering this. And this has been Beyond Magical. I could talk about this for hours. I'm so moved.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Yes, thank you.